Hey guys, I am here in the Puffin Rooms, Edinburgh, which is La Casa del Habano in Edinburgh, with Jenny, a great friend. How are you, Jenny?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you very much. So we're friends. She's Cuban. She's working here, and I thought I had to pop in after being to Meet the Makers event and check out the Humidor and obviously see her.
Yeah. This
Jenny,
is a complete ambush, by the way.
yeah,
I
she
didn't
didn't know.
know. I didn't know.
So Jenny, tell me, what's it like being here? Because you came from Spain
Yep.
to work here.
Yes.
What's it like being in Edinburgh and working?
So it's super different, I have to say. Also, the smoking profile is super different here. But Edinburgh is a beautiful city. They are amazing here. They've been so warm. And it was a surprise, to be honest, because people, when I said that I'm moving to the UK, mostly to Scotland, they said, oh my God, everything is so cold there. Which in a way is true, but not the people. So that was okay.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
So Jenny, I know we're short in time, but can you give a little tour of the Humidor? Anything special? Anything you want to share with us?
Sure. So we feel privileged in a way because this is the one and only Casa del Habano in the whole Scotland. We have all the 27 brands that Habano have.
Nice.
We also have a few, I would say, special things in a way. We have a Habanos book from the collection with H. Oman here. We also have a few very nice cigars. You have here all the LSEDH, Habanos specialist also cigars here. We have the UK regionals and a really, very nice and very expensive cigars. We have the Cohibas, the Vejiques, and I think that one of the most cigars that people usually ask and it's very hard to find is the Fundadores and the Lusitanas. We have them here. Yes, I know. And it's very hard to find. So I think that we are privileged in a way to have all these amazing cigars together and they can actually enjoy. I also think that this is the only proper cigar lounge, I think, in Edinburgh. Like with our own space to smoke, like a sampling lounge.
Yes.
We also have great food. So I think that if you are thinking in having a whole experience, like coming with good food, tasty menu, amazing service, hospitality, and also, finishing with a good cigar, I think this is your place to be.
Yeah, it is. It is quite nice. Well, very nice actually.
Yeah.
And the Negroni is really good.
Good. See,
Yeah.
we have very good old-fashions too. You should try them.
Yeah, that's
You should.
for the next time. But yeah, anything that you can say about working here, about being different to working in Spain, like the profile, what customers like the most,
Of
or
course.
any differences that you found?
So one of the biggest differences that actually was very surprising for me here is the age gap between the smokings.
Okay.
So in Spain, for example, mostly it's people after, let's say, 45 or 50 even years old. But here, maybe it's because where we are, located, and also we are surrounded by college and university, which means that we have a lot of young people in their 20s enjoying cigars. But also, the change is big because actually they know what they're talking about, which is something that it didn't happen when I was in Spain, for example. So they actually ask the right questions. They ask about strength. They want to know why one cigar is different than the other, but in the same brand. They come here with all the homework done.
All right.
Which it makes me feel that if you're working in this kind of places, you also need to be on top of the news and on top of knowledge. Mostly because they already know what they want. Yeah. And
so if you mess up, they'll know.
Yeah, and it's very hard sometimes to surprise them. Yeah. So I think that's the big change between them. Also the prices.
Yeah.
In Spain, you have a price cap there, so you cannot actually put any kind of price in here. Also, when you travel, you see the differences because of the taxing is actually a big impact in the price of the cigar. But I think that's for me what was more surprising. Yeah. The change of the age and seeing people even that had 22 years old and they are smoking a great cigar, and it's like, oh my God, this is it. For me, that was crazy. Yeah.
Nice. And Jenny, obviously, you have experience working in lounges and I think abroad and in here. Yeah. Can you, for the viewers, what will you recommend somebody who's new and walking into a lounge like this? What should they ask you? How should they approach you so that you can help them and recommend the best thing for them? So
I think the first thing that I'm very advocate at all first is treating everybody in the same way. It's very important that when someone comes to a lounge and it's, let's say, the first time or they are trying to start in this kind of a journey, it's important for these people to feel that they are just heard and there is no difference
Yeah.
between them and everybody else. For someone who's starting, and let's say they haven't tried a cigar before, I always go for smokes that are less than an hour. Sometimes when they don't know, they're not used to the nicotine, and also they are not used to the whole experience. A cigar that is more than an hour sometimes is very demanding for them, and it gets boring
It gets
for
boring
them.
after a
Yeah.
while.
So I always go for something less than an hour, maybe a robusto, even less than a robusto size. I always go for something mild in strength because we don't want them knocked out. We want them to have a nice experience. So in Habanos, for example, brands that I enjoy and every time they are recommended, they love it would be something like a Humidor 50.
Yep.
Maybe they have Corona from aged on man. Oreo is a great one if you want something a little bit more floral, like the Petit Robusto, for example, the Strafina.
Yes.
I will go with something like that and not going something maybe too harsh or too spicy. But I also always like to ask them what kind of flavors they enjoy the most. You know, if you are a coffee guy, if you are a sweet type, if you're more like a smoky, a bit more peppery, even though I know that finding notes is not the most important thing when you're smoking a cigar at all. But it's good, you know, because if you like something a bit more smooth and more creamy, maybe you know that you can enjoy more like a killer say. So it's good to make this kind of questions. Yeah.
So will you say for somebody who's new especially, to come open-minded and be willing to ask questions,
yes,
and also allow the person working in the lounge to ask you questions?
Of course, yeah. I think that's the best thing. One should. Everything, people think that they're stupid questions, but believe me, in cigars, and you always learn, and it's impossible to know it all. So you just ask, and just feel free to also browse a little bit the Humidor and ask about brands and ask about what you're looking for. Sometimes they are celebrating something and they want something more special.
Yeah.
Sometimes they heard someone say, hey, you need to try a Partagas, but maybe if it's the first time, it wouldn't be the best cigar for them. So just ask always, and just allow yourself to enjoy the journey, allow yourself to enjoy the whole ritual behind it. And I think that if you allow yourself to do that with an open mind, I really think that you will enjoy the experience.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, what I've noticed as well is like sometimes they get recommended something by a friend who is a regular smoker, and they come into lounges thinking that that's what it is. So I think coming in with an open mind and being allowed to get influenced by an expert is better sometimes than just a friend.
Yeah.
So that's great. So just let them ask you questions and guide you because they are the expert. Like, well, you are the expert here.
Well, that's a big word, but
compared to a newbie, definitely.
But I think that that's the most important thing. It's the same, and this is something that I always want to say every time that I have 2 seconds to have a voice. It's the same with women's going to lounges.
Yeah.
It's very important for me, for example, they are treated the same way too. It's not about the gender, but it happens a lot. So it's good for them to be open, to feel welcome, to feel embraced. And this is actually very nice. It's the same with someone very young going to a lounge.
Yes.
And sometimes for them it can be overwhelming or scary, or, you know, they think. So just ask, allow yourself to enjoy. And please do not listen to everybody that you can see and everybody tells you, because there is a lot of famous brands and people heard a lot of things.
Yeah.
So just ask, let them to help you, and I think that if you do that, you have a good experience. I hope.
And Jenny, you are obviously a woman in the cigar world. How do you find the women community growing in the UK?
Well, this is actually very interesting for me. So when I arrived here, I found more women smoking here and enjoying cigars than when I was in Spain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Even though this is hard still, historically speaking, it's been hard to have a space as a women, you know, in this kind of industry, and also in lounges and here we actually have now a few women. There's something we have the UK aficionadas, which is an amazing. We started with Alexa Ferreira, started a small group in WhatsApp trying to gather women to smoke, and then we grew and we started with, I don't know, 15 or 20 ladies, and now we're like 80 or something like that.
That's great.
Yeah, and we're trying to create a safe space for them to even if you have never smoked before, we try to create a safe space to not be judged, just go in there and enjoy. And I think it's growing. I really think it's growing, but also it's a hard work to do. It's hard. It's still hard. Yeah, but we're getting there.
But obviously, another thing that I wanted to ask you is, is there a difference between a cigar that you would recommend to a woman than to a man? Because I always get asked that question. Oh, because as a woman, she needs to have something thinner, something lighter, or whatever. In my opinion, it just depends on the palate and the time that you have. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man. But what do you say? Obviously, you're a woman. You can give the proper opinion, and you work in a lounge, so you do this often.
There is nothing like a women's cigar. There is nothing like a women's cigar. There is nothing like a cigar for men. There is nothing like that. And please do not say that to other people. If you watching this, there is nothing like that. There is just cigar and enjoyment, and that's the only thing you need to know. There is nothing like this cigar is the ring gauge is better because the thinner. There is nothing like the milder cigar or the flavored cigar is for women. That is not true. There is just cigars, and cigar is for everybody. And believe me, there is a single cigar for every single one of us in the world. So just ask them the same way that you would ask to whoever. Do not make this kind of distinctions. Like, if are you a regular smoker? Occasionally, what kind of smoke are you looking for today? How much time do you have? And after all these questions, and then just recommend something that you will smoke yourself for them. That's the only thing. There's nothing like a women's cigar.
Perfect. That's the best answer. And I hope you guys get it clear, because I get asked that question sometimes. And I do think for women, joining the community and also indulging and enjoying this is great. There's no difference between being a man and a woman when it comes to smoking, especially. So the more the merrier.
Yes, please. And just join. You can always find us also on IG if you're a woman and you want to start, or you're just curious and you just find us in IG, DM, or whatever.
What's your Instagram? They can contact you.
Well, the UK Aficionadas Instagram is the UK Aficionadas, and if not mine, well, you know mine.
Jenny, I'll link it below.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, Jenny, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
Love
much.
the place. Love having you here in the channel. Thank you, and until next time.
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.